And welcome into the 49ers Report. I am Cam Rogers. Let's get into all of the latest rumors and news surrounding the San Francisco 49ers. We'll start off with rumor number one. Are the Niners going to go with a cornerback in the first round of the NFL draft? Well, according to Mel Kiper in his mock draft 1.0, they will, and they'll be getting Denzel Ward, cornerback out of Ohio State. We're giving this 2 Jed heads, so something simmering here. We're kind of believing in it. We're not going to put full stock into it, but we will go along with what Mel Kiper is saying here, calling Ward the number 1 corner in the class. And the 49ers saw solid seasons from rookie Akello Witherspoon and slot corner K'Wan Williams as well. So a need at corner, sure, especially on the outside. But you look at the other positions for the San Francisco 49ers, you have the interior of that offensive line, a couple of free agents on that front 5, and you look at the defensive line for San Francisco as well. You could have some needs there. So we're giving this 2 Jed heads, so not going all on board with what Mel Kiper is saying in his first mock draft, but we are giving some credibility to it. All right, news and rumor number 2 here. Could the San Francisco 49ers acquire one Allen Robinson, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of cap space to spend, so a lot of these news and rumors are about us acquiring pretty talented players. Let's take a look at Allen Robinson here. We're giving this 2 Jed heads. We believe it could happen. Like I said, a lot of cap space. $115 million is the projected amount according to Over the Cap. And look, it makes sense considering the 49ers don't have a clear number 1 wide receiver right now. Could Marquise Goodwin be that guy? A little bit of a question mark in that regard. And if the Niners have so much money to spend, why not make a run at Allen Robinson? The big question here, will the Jaguars franchise tag Robinson, since they have their own wide receiver depth issues out there in the Sunshine State? So something to monitor there, but we could see it go down. It's simmering, so we're giving it 2 Jed heads. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 49ers Report. I am Cam Rogers. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'm taking you through all of the latest news and rumors, and you saw the Jed heads there. So we are using these heads as kind of a scale of believability for these news and rumors. So let's take a look at our scale. If there are 0 Jed heads in this rumor, it is fake news. We are not believing in it at all. Luckily, there is no fake news to report in this show. 1 Jed head, little truth to it, but us at Chat Sports, we're not going to buy into it all the way. 2 Jed heads, something's simmering, something's cooking in the pot, if you will. 3 Jed heads, we're faithful in it, and then 4 Jed heads, oh, it's happening. It's news. It's going down. All right, so let's get into news and rumor numero 3. The 49ers, are they interested in Dez Bryant? Well, Dez Bryant is, very expensive for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are stripped for cash right now. They have one of the worst cap space situations. We're giving this 1 Jed head because I feel that Dez Bryant is a little too expensive for the 49ers liking. It's about return on investment. I don't think the 49ers would get a lot of return on investment here. Dez Bryant due $12.5 million in base salary. And, of course, he has voiced to the Dallas Cowboys and really to the public that he does not want to take a pay cut. I wouldn't expect the Cowboys to cut him until at least the June 1st deadline, or at least after that, because the Cowboys would get a lot more in savings if they were to do that. And if you're thinking ahead here to June, by that point, we could already have a couple of solid wide receivers, i.e. Jarvis Landry or Allen Robinson or somebody like that on the team. We don't really need to go out and try to grab a Dez Bryant if he is available. So we'll give that 1 Jed head there. All right, so we went through 3 news and rumors for you. Let's get into number 4 here. And the 4th rumor on our list, will the 49ers acquire Marshal Yanda, fantastic guard for the Baltimore Ravens, and he is going to be one expensive guy, and the Baltimore Ravens are another team that are probably going to have to cut a lot of players to free up some cap space. We're going to give this 2 Jed heads here. Now, why is that? Well, the 49ers, I could see a situation where they go out and try to grab a Marshal Yanda if indeed he is released by the Ravens. Yanda is as good as they come in pass protection and run blocking. Really solid leader, good locker room guy as well. Yanda is due $10 million next season. It's not out of the question here that the Ravens let Yanda walk. And you look at the offensive line for the San Francisco 49ers this year, had its fair share of problems, had a few injuries at right tackle, had to move Zane Beadles to right tackle at the later part of the season, the interior with Fusco, etc. Some question marks there. So if you bring in a Marshal Yanda, obviously an automatic leader and a big-time offensive lineman for that run game and good pass protection as well for Jimmy G. All right, so rumor number 4, Marshal Yanda perhaps going to the 49ers. News and rumor number 5, Marquise Goodwin. Is he a number 1 wide receiver? We're giving this one Jed head, and this is not really a knock on Marquise Goodwin. I just think it's going to be a situation where the 49ers are going to bring in a couple of free agents, and automatically Marquise Goodwin is just going to be a wide receiver number 2 or wide receiver number 3 because Jarvis Landry is going out west, or maybe Allen Robinson is. And so you just have that automatic better talent. Marquise Goodwin just kind of naturally falls below in the depth chart. Obviously, Goodwin was really good. Big question, though, can he carry that momentum from the 2017 campaign to 2018? Was it just a flash in the pan, etc.? So Marquise Goodwin, we shall see. We are giving it one Jed head, though, that he will be a number 1 wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. And then finally, news and rumor number 6 here. Jimmy G to get a long-term deal done. We're giving this 2 Jed heads. So we all know that Jimmy Garoppolo going to be a free agent. There's no way in heck John Lynch lets this guy leave. The real scenario here is I think the 49ers are going to franchise tag Garoppolo and really give Garoppolo a 1 full year sample size to prove himself, and then 49ers leadership can kind of go along from there to sign him to a long-term deal. So the Mercury News reported that a 5-year, $130 million deal actually is cheaper than kind of kicking the can, if you will, and franchise tagging Jimmy Garoppolo. You know, I think franchise tagging makes a lot more sense here just because Jimmy G doesn't have that sample size of NFL starts just yet. Yes, he went 5-0 with us, and that was fantastic. 2 Jed heads, so we're believing in it a tad. We could see it happen, a long-term deal, but we're going to lean a little towards also the franchise tag situation as well. All right, let's get into news and rumor number 7. Solomon Thomas, is he a premier pass rusher going into the 2018 season? Well, this is coming right from Thomas himself. We're giving this 3 Jed heads. We are faithful in it. Solomon said to ESPN that he is working hard on improving his hands, improving his aggression, his explosiveness, coming around the edge. All things considered, not a bad rookie season for Thomas. Yes, he only had 3 sacks. His pass rushing ability left a lot to be desired. But you may recall, coming out of Stanford, they go on a quarterly system. So Solomon had to wait a little longer than other rookies to go into camp and get those repetitions in and get ready to play. So it took a little bit of an adjustment period for Solomon Thomas. That's why we're giving it 3 Jed heads. We do believe that he can be a premier pass rusher for the San Francisco 49ers. So we are faithful in Solomon. News and rumor number 8 here. Daniel Kilgore, will he return and be the starting center for the San Francisco 49ers? Well, we're giving it 3 Jed heads. We are faithful in this. We are at least faithful in the fact that he will return. Whether or not he will be the starter is the big question mark here. He has great rapport with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo is really going to do his best to lobby to the Niners leadership that, yes, Kilgore should remain in San Francisco. And look, had a below-average season, ranking 24th among centers according to Pro Football Focus. But he did show some flashes throughout the year, especially in run blocking. And, of course, you really can't put a grade on chemistry between a center and a quarterback. And if Jimmy Garoppolo wants Kilgore to remain, well, I think that's all you really need to hear if you are John Lynch. All right, so we're giving that 3 Jed heads. We are faithful in it. And then last but not least here, 49ers former first-round pick Dana Stubblefield, has been jailed. So he was arrested on rape charges and held out on bail, or was out on bail, and then the judge deemed that they had cause to actually jail him. We are giving this 4 Jed heads here, and it means it's essentially news. Everybody is reporting this. Of course, Stubblefield, a former 49ers 1993 first-round pick, Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champion as well, and really a tough scenario, a tough story to be following as a 49ers fan out there. We're giving it 4 Jed heads because it is indeed news.